I heard this voice saying, "Get out of America. I gotta go."
I understand that.
And
I understand that.
and I had to. I looked around at myself and I started
Wow.
thinking. I said, "Wow." So I said, "Well, I got to talk to my wife, and I got to talk to my mother." I had children. So I talked to my wife and my mother. My mother was getting up there in age. So I spoke to them. I told them what was said to me. I have to get out of America. I have to come back to Ghana. They both gave me their approval.
This African man who lives in Ghana used to live in the United States of America, Manhattan to be specific. He was directed by spirits to come to Africa. I don't know whether the spirit was his own personal intuition or any ancestral spirit or whatsoever. But he said he was directed by the spirits to return back to Africa and specifically Ghana. So he shares his experience and his views in this video. So let's watch the video in full length and get to listen to him and know exactly what his story is. But before we move into the video, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, just locate the subscribe button down there. Click on the subscribe button. Click as well on the notification bell. Let's move on to the next video.
So please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you. My name is Nick Yasha, and I received that name after I got here.
Okay.
And I received it not from the Ghanaian family. I received it from a spiritualist back in the States. Wow. Told me that I should change my name again. This is not my first time of changing my name. So I went on and followed what she said. But I'm gonna start my journey like this. Some years back, 1986, 87, I was traveling through New York City going home.
Nice.
And as I was traveling, I stopped in Manhattan. I stopped at a light. And a car pulled up next to me.
Oh, that was scary.
And the brother said, "Roll down your window." And normally you don't do that.
No, not especially not in New York.
And it didn't bother me. I just rolled down my window and he looked at me. He said, "Brother, have you ever been to Africa?" I said, "No, I've never been to Africa." He said, "Brother, it's all over you." He said, "Brother, it's all over you." And to the day, I can't tell you what the brother looked like,
Wow.
what kind of car he drove,
See?
nothing about him. I can't say anything.
Okay.
But 6 to 8 months later, I was in Africa.
Ghana, precisely.
Precisely, I was here.
Okay.
And what happened was, there was a Ghanaian brother came to my neighborhood. And when he came to our neighborhood, he married my priest's niece.
Okay.
And the family called him back to come home to become a chief. And so we said, okay, let's go with him to be a part of his journey. And the thing that happened was, the people told him, "The people you are with are protecting you."
Wow.
And those are from the States. So we came back. And when we came back, we were supposed to go to another area and stay, but in Cape Coast. But it didn't work out. And we end up here.
Okay.
Further down the road here, there's a place, Oyster Bay.
Okay.
And we stayed there. And when we came, that was in 87 now, this was nothing but bush.
Right.
Nothing but bush. this whole area. And one of the elders in our community who was with us, he came down here and he said, hey man, there's land down here, there's nothing but bush and everything else and everything else. So he came down and he bought a plot. I never thought nothing of it. But it was just like, okay. So from 1987 on, we started visiting this area, coming back here to Ghana. We start coming, I think it was about 18 or maybe 20 of us in the first trip. But then we just start coming back every year. And so what happened was, the sister that owns this place right here, her husband came back to live. And he started building this. And then she came back and she started building this, finishing.
Right.
They came in together.
Right.
Then our Kohen came and he started, well, Mabel's Table.
Mabel's Table, you guys, it's a place that you guys got to make sure you come down here and check out. Mabel's Table in Cape Coast.
Well, basically, it's not Cape Coast, it's Itri. This is the Itri is the village we in.
Okay.
But you got to come this way through Cape Coast to get here.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
got
and Itri is a part of Elmina.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All right. So he came in '94, and so 205, I heard this voice saying, "Get out of America. I gotta go."
I understand that.
And
I understand that.
and I you know, I had to. I looked around at myself and I started
Wow.
thinking. I said, "Wow." So I said, "Well, I got to talk to my wife, and I got to talk to my mother." You know, I had children. So I talked to my wife and my mother. My mother was getting up there in age. So I spoke to them. I told them what was said to me. I have to get out of America. I have to come back to Ghana. They both gave me their approval. So I moved in 2005. And I came and I bought land and I started building, me and my wife.
It is very, very important for you to live in a place where you are valued, a place where you have a sense of peace, a place where you are not discriminated against. Africa is the place for you if you're a person of African descent living in the diaspora. I recommend you visit Ghana and then check out Ghana if this is a place that you can live in. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.